guys, it's me, it's Miss Checka. I see Tess is there. Hi, Tess. I see Jamie also. Hey, so since we finished Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, and since I haven't totally picked out our next book, I am open to suggestions. I'm still thinking about holes. I thought we would do something a little different today and talk about gardening, because I love gardening, and it's one of the few things. Well, actually, I love it. So I'm just going to talk about it. So at my school, here is a funny thing that you would never guess about me. So at my school, I am the English teacher, which, okay, yeah, you can tell I really like reading. And I'm also a coding teacher. So I teach like computer programming. And guess what I make the kids in the coding class do? I make them grow a vegetable garden. So you can tell that this is something that I really like. So here is the thing. I wanted to share with you how you make new plants, right? So one way, it seems like kind of obvious, which is seeds. So if you remember last week, I got super excited because I pulled up some carrots from my garden. Well, I got them from this kind right here. And see how this is like all rainbow colored? So a seed is basically like mommy plant and daddy plant loved each other very much. And then they had babies, and the babies are the seeds, right? So these are teeny tiny ones. I don't even know if you can see them with the glare here. So you can have huge seeds. Like, think about how big an acorn is. An acorn is a seed. You can have little teeny tiny seeds like these carrots. And if you have really bad allergies like me, that's why. Is because these plants are trying so hard to spread themselves out everywhere so they can get into the ground. So that's one way, is you got a seed, great. Next way are bulbs. So I just dug these out of my flower pots. And this is actually like a great big bulb right here. And you can see it was making like little baby bulbs. So as you can tell, this bulb, it looks a little bit like an onion, right? Because an onion is a different kind of bulb. But this is a tulip bulb. So I just dug it out because tulips are all done for the year at my house. But this is a red tulip. So a tulip bulb, it's a lot pickier, in my opinion, than the carrot seed. So here is the thing. A tulip bulb goes under the ground, just like a seed, except unlike a seed, this one, if I put these carrot seeds in, they're going to come up in, let's see what it says here. I just know from experience, they'll come up in about a week. But the tulip bulb will not come up for months. For months and months and months and months. You put the tulip bulb in the ground in the fall, and then it's like a little cold weather guy. He really wants some, hi Michaela, he really wants some cold weather. So if you live in a cold place, super duper, you just like put this under the ground, and then it'll snow on top of it. You don't do anything to it. If you live in a warm place, it's really hard to get a tulip bulb. Well, there's Meredith. Some people, if you live in a warm place, actually have to put them in their freezer so that the bulb, you're tricking the bulb into thinking that it's winter. Another kind of cool fact about tulips is once upon a time, there was a huge, like, these got so crazy popular that they became like more valuable than money. People would trade them. So you plant this under the ground, and then when the plant is done, you dig it up just like I did. I don't know if this one will do anything next year, but it did. You can see here, try to make some little baby bulbs. Okay. Meredith says it'll take her months and months to come out, but then you'll be beautiful and radiant, Meredith. Okay, so the next kind is cuttings, which are my favorite kind. All right. So here is the thing. So one way you can get a plant is that you have a seed. Another way you can get a plant is that you have a bulb. But another way, and this is like a magical way, is that you just cut off a piece of it and it just recreates itself. So something that I do is wherever I go, whenever I see plants that I know you can do cuttings, I'm like, and I like snip, 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 snip. Like when I'm over at friends' houses, sometimes I'll snip their vine. My mom's house, the neighbors when I walk around. But it goes like this. So each one of these, I just cut it and I put it in a cup of water. And look at that, roots. So that is pretty magical. So this is a way, we're going to call this propagation. So I'm propagating a new plant. I'm making a brand new plant, not by planting a seed, by just cutting a piece off of it. This kind of regeneration is so weird to me, but you find it a lot in the natural world. Like there are certain kinds of lizards that if you cut off a piece of them, it'll grow back. Your liver in your body is one of the few organs that you can donate just a little piece of your liver, and the little piece will grow in somebody else's body and your liver will grow back. It's just a weird thing. But yeah, this vine, it's not hurting the plant at all to cut a piece off of it, and it'll make a new plant. So there's that kind of vine, and this kind of vine, and this kind of vine. And this one is not a vine, which is really cool looking. It's called dragon's wing. You can see it's kind of spotted and like dragon's wing. And so if you want a plant, once it has the roots, you just put it in a little pot. And here you can see I potted a little dragon's wing. I think it's a begonia maybe. And you can see it's making little tiny baby leaves. So it's already so happy in this pot. All right, so we've talked about seeds. We talked about cuttings. We talked about bulbs. Let's talk about succulents. So succulents are like cacti, right? They are a kind of plant that doesn't need to be watered a whole lot because they contain water inside of them. So they're really good plants for kind of places that get lots of drought, where it doesn't rain a lot. So this is a kind of jade plant. And this is it's one of my favorite plants. He's my little buddy, and it's springtime, so you can see he's making new leaves here at the top. So all of these guys, they're leaves, even though they're really kind of round, like 3D, not like the flat leaves over there. But he's making new leaves. Here is the thing. These leaves, every single one of them, just one leaf, has the potential to make a baby plant. So like, this is a leaf that I picked this morning. And if I leave him sitting on the dirt, he will make an entire little tiny plant, a little replica of himself right in the end there. And here's the proof. Look at this little tiny baby guy. Adorable. This is adorable. So from this plant came this plant. And look how cute he is. It's the best. So this is, propagation. I even brought out here to show you. Here's another vine that I planted a couple of weeks ago. And see, now he's making little vine arms. So let's move on to what's going on behind me. So in our very, very, very first nerd hangout, remember we talked about space farming and how they grow plants on the International Space Station? And I was like, look here, this is like a terrible plant to grow on the International Space Station. It's a tomato. Well, here's the tomato plant. Except you can see, since that was like a month ago, he's gotten quite big. And I'm going to show you, here we have, can you see? Oh, let me see if I can turn this. I hope that you can see this. He's making little tiny tomatoes, little tomato fruits. So behind me, this is where I plant all of my vegetables. And just like these examples of propagation I show you over here, the vegetables grow in all different ways. So tomato plants, they grow from a seed. That's how you usually grow tomato plants. In fact, a lot of vegetables grow with a seed. But that back row back there, potatoes. And potatoes grow like this. So this is an old potato. And in your house, if you like to eat potatoes, I love to eat potatoes. I mean, honestly, potatoes are, I'm just going to say it, the best, because you can make French fries, you can have roasted potatoes, you can have mashed potatoes. Delicious. And little known fact, just like actually there's all these fancy colored ones, there are all different colors of potatoes. So you know who we think of when we think of potatoes. I know you want to say the Irish, because we do, but potatoes are actually a New World plant. So they came from South America. And before the Europeans came to South America, nobody in Europe and nobody in Ireland had potatoes. And specifically, they come from the Andes Mountains. So in ancient times, the Inca, the Tehuantinsuyu, the Inca, had potatoes, and they had them way, 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 way high up in the mountains. And they invented, I am not making this up, freeze drying. So in the ancient Inca Empire, they had a long, long, long highway across the Andes Mountains. Like, think of even like longer than Roman roads. And the way that you would get messages from city to city, maybe like one king here and one king there, is that you would send really, really, really fast runners to go from this place, run through the mountains to the next station. And then, you know, a guy in this station would like pick up the message, and then he would take it, not written down because they didn't have a writing system. Their writing system, and I am not making this up, are kipu, are knotted strings. And that's how you would get messages from city to city. Well, first of all, you have to have huge lung capacity to be a person who can run in the mountains like that. But also, you got to have fuel for your body. So what they would do is have potatoes for these messengers to eat. And because it was so way high up in the Andes Mountains, they would freeze and preserve them. So these are some fun potato facts for you. Now, this potato right here, he looks so not appetizing. He does not look appetizing. Well, I'm also now seeing that you guys are like loving on little tiny fruit plant. Yes, I love him. Okay, so if you buy potatoes in your house and you eat them right away, yay, delicious. But if you don't eat them right away, this is what happens, is that potatoes have little indentations in them, and they're called eyes. Right? Spinach and radishes. Okay, we'll get there. And if you leave the eyes long enough, then they sprout like that. So in the background, right here, those are potato plants. So that's where I planted a potato in the ground. You don't see any potatoes growing on it like you do on the tomato plants. They're all invisible. They're under the ground. So the plant is going to look real green and leafy. Then it'll die. And then after it dies, I'm going to dig in there with a spade. Remember, we learned about spades in Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. And there will be these beautiful potatoes for me. So carrots grow under the ground. Potatoes grow under the ground. Radishes. Now, somebody asked about peppers. So let's move our station and let's see about the peppers. Okay. So right here, I've jumped the gun a little bit because it's a little early for peppers. So plants are like people. They have all different personalities. And some of them are super laid back, whatever, they're fine. And some of them are extremely picky. And they have to have certain things in order to be happy. So peppers really need it to be hot. They need the soil to be hot. But here you can see, here's the pepper plant, and there's a little flower. And when the flower dies, it's going to make little tiny baby peppers. But then that's going to grow. It's going to be a big pepper. Over here, these broccoli, they like cold. They like this weather right now. So here you can see in the middle there, I hope you can see it, is a little tiny broccoli head. So he's going to get bigger. Now I also have cucumbers, which is a vine, and a watermelon. So let's talk for a little second. Let's say that you have your seed or a cutting or whatever. You have talked your mom and dad, spouse, whatever, into, letting you, if you have a backyard, you can plant some in the backyard. But also, I lived in an apartment for years and years and years and years, and I would just put dirt in anything that would hold dirt. What does a plant need to be happy so that you don't kill it? Well, number one, you need to know the personality of your plant. So if you planted it from a seed, this seed packet will tell you a whole bunch of information. It'll tell you if it likes to be hot or cold, what time, when in the year to plant it. Now, all plants need certain things. You just need to figure out how much. So they all need water. So even succulents, they need water sometimes. Plants need water. Plants need the sun, right? That's where they're going to get a lot of their energy from. And usually that energy is stored in the leaves. That's why plants that grow above ground, like spinach, are so healthy and nutritious for us, because they've gotten all of that energy from the sun. They need soil. They need dirt. They need something to grow in. After a while, that soil needs to have nutrients in it, right? So that's why sometimes we put compost, fertilizer. That's what they need. I forgot one kind of propagation. It drives me crazy, but I'm going to show you. So propagation, we talked about seeds, we talked about cuttings, we talked about bulbs. I'm going to show you a rhizome. This rhizome is my enemy. So here we have, there's my vegetable garden, right? Do you know what kind of tree that is in the background? You can't tell from this distance. Y'all, it's bamboo. My neighbor has bamboo. So in one way, it's cool because I'm like a panda. I live near all of this bamboo, right? If I was a panda, I would be so happy. I would just eat it. Another way it's cool is because it makes like a natural fence. That's awesome. The way that it makes me crazy is that the way that bamboo grows, it's not a seed like an acorn. It's a rhizome. So let me explain. So number one, even though that bamboo is super, super, super tall, it's a grass. Did you know that? Bamboo is a kind of grass. And as we all know, grass grows really fast. That's why you have to mow so much in the summertime. So the way that bamboo grows is underneath the ground. So bamboo grows tall. And underneath the ground, it sends out these runners. And then the runners pop up out of the ground and make a new plant. So you can't control when it's going to come out. Sometimes that bamboo shoot likes to go right in the middle of my carrots. Sometimes it likes to go right in the middle of the yard. I'm going to show you so you can see up close. They grow insanely quickly. They are some of the fastest growing plants on the planet. So the way that they grow is basically when the bamboo comes out of the ground, it's real soft and you can just knock it over. In fact, I'm going to knock it over for you. And it'll grow several inches a day, and just grow from like nothing out of the ground to full size in very little time. And then it never grows again. So it's not like a tree where the tree grows like a little bit, like kind of out in circles and rings like that. The bamboo goes from like 0 to real tall, real fast, and then it never grows again. So imagine if babies were like that. If you like came out of the womb and then you're like, I'm fully grown, and then I'm never going to grow again. So let me show you. So here you can really see it's bamboo. This has been here tops maybe a week or two. And I waited too long and I can't knock it down. So I'm going to knock down. We'll see if this one I can. Ooh. So you see how they come out like this? looks a little bit like corn. Oh, there it goes. So it's soft because it's like crazy, crazy, crazy growing. And then in a week, it'll be this big and I won't be able to do anything with it. So you see this and you would not believe me, but last week, this was to here. To here. So bamboo, it's a rhizome. Rhizome is the kind that goes underneath the ground, comes on out. Oh, Michaela, you got bamboo. All right. So these are some gardening facts. We could do more if you wanted. Like I said, I am open to suggestion about books. And I guess that's it for now. Who wants to share like what you have growing around you in your room or in your house? Who's got something? Yeah. I mean, the bamboo is a little fun, but it makes me so mad when it comes out in a flower bed. Let's see. Michaela has bamboo, bell peppers, tomatoes, basil. Ooh, that looks like you're growing a pizza in the backyard. That's awesome. All right, y'all. Well, I hope that everybody... Oh, a succulent. Very nice, Michaela. I hope that everybody had a fun time with me today. If you want, we can do a little bit more gardening or we can talk about other topics. You just tell me what you want. Meredith doesn't have anything edible. Meredith, you need to grow yourself some spinach in a sunny window or some strawberries. Strawberries will grow well inside. Yeah, succulents are the best. Well, succulents are so magical because they will just make little babies of themselves. Like, it's like magic. There you go. All right, guys. Well, this was super, super, super fun. And I will see you tomorrow. Maybe we need to talk about flowers. I don't know. All right. Bye, guys. Have a good afternoon.